Hey guys, so it is Thursday, and I originally wanted to take part in Theme Thursday, but I have nothing, literally nothing to put on my babies that has wheels or anything to do with wheels. So that's out of the question. So what I thought I would do today is a little Throwback Thursday because yesterday, May the 24th, Alex and I celebrated our 8th wedding anniversary. And we went out to dinner to the Keg because we had a gift card. But I thought it would be fun today to share with you how Alex and I met and started dating, as a little Throwback Thursday story for you guys. So basically, I have to go back a little bit in my story before I met him. So for those who don't know, in 2002, I got really, really sick after getting a temporary black henna tattoo, which, looking back now and with the research I've done and the information that I know with me having lupus and everything, we have now concluded that that was probably my first lupus flare, and it was triggered by the paraphenyldiamine that is often found in these black henna temporary tattoos. This is a dye that's found in hair dye, but when they use it on the skin for the tattoos, it's a more concentrated formula, and you leave it on your skin for a lot longer than you would leave it in your hair. And a lot of people are allergic to this, which obviously I was. Excuse me, but many, many years later, when I was diagnosed with lupus in 2010, and I started to read the Lupus book, it talked about environmental triggers of lupus flares, and lo and behold, one of them was paraphenyldiamine. So we've now basically concluded that my very first lupus flare was in 2002, and it was triggered by this tattoo. So I had just started my second year of college in the early childhood educator program when I became sick. And it just started with a rash on the temporary tattoo, which they just prescribed a cream for. And literally the day after I got the cream, my whole body broke out in hives, covered head to toe. I almost looked like a burn victim. And then within a matter of 3 weeks, I believe it was 3 or 4 weeks, I gained 40 pounds because my whole body swelled up. I then started having breathing problems, which then they discovered my thyroid problem. They discovered my heart problem, my irregular heartbeat, which at the time my irregular heartbeat was so bad that I had so many extra heartbeats that I could have gone into cardiac arrest, they told me. So I was put on medication for that right away. Thankfully, it worked, and I'm still on that. I'm basically going to be on that medication for the rest of my life to keep things at bay. But no one could figure out what was causing these hives. And so eventually I had no choice. I'm trying to think what exactly happened. I was starting my infant placement. That's what it was. I was starting my infant placement, and I couldn't do it anymore. So I believe I dropped out for that whole semester. It's so hard to remember, but basically I dropped out of college for a while because I was constantly itching, burning. I could not concentrate in school or on anything. And I was literally going to the doctor like several times a week for different tests and things like that. So I couldn't keep up with school. So I dropped out of school for the second year, and basically I dropped out for a whole year of college, and that was to be my second year of college, which would have been my last year of college. So I was originally supposed to graduate in 2003. But I didn't, because I was just so sick, and like the highs, literally, like I couldn't sleep properly at night. I was exhausted all the time. I was feeling bruised in my chest area and my sides and my legs. I had this weird pain that I felt like I was bruised everywhere. So I had to drop out. And thankfully by summer of 2003, I don't know why I want to keep saying 2013, 2003, I finally found a doctor that got me on the right combination of medication that got my highs under control. So fall of 2003, I went back to college to finish my final year. So I was doing the infant semester again, and went into my placement and all that. And I did have some issues. I had a little bit of a relapse of hives in the middle of the placement, but I managed to make it through. I didn't get the best grade in my infant placement because of my health issues, but I passed it, and that's all that mattered. But anyways, as I was in my infant semester of college, learning about working with infants in daycare and stuff, I had my friend Jen, who I had known since high school, approached me and said, hey, my friend Billy has a friend named Alex, and I was wondering if you would like to be set up with him. And I was like kind of taken aback, because my history with guys, that's a whole other story for another day. But my dating history with guys is that I always felt like I had to have a boyfriend in my life. And I would latch on to whoever would come my way, and they became my world and whatever. And so I was finally at this place in my life where I was actually content being single and not having a boyfriend. And I was just, trying to get over these hurdles with my health. And I hesitated. I was like, gosh, I really don't know. The year prior to that, actually a couple of months just before I got sick in 2002, I had broken up with a guy, or should I say he broke up with me for his ex. That's another story for another day. But when that relationship ended, I had made a vow. I was like, you know what? I'm just done. I'm done dating. I want to just enjoy being single, and I'm putting it in God's hands. And I just told God, I'm like, God, when the time is right, when you have someone that is meant for me, bring him to me. But until then, I'm just going to enjoy being single. So when my friend approached me with this, I originally hesitated because, like I said, I was very content being single, and I really didn't feel like dating, especially since I was still kind of dealing with health issues, and I didn't really want to get into a relationship when I had all these health problems. But I was like, you know what? I remembered what I had, said to God, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and talk to the guy and see where it goes. I had no expectations to date him or for us to become a couple or anything. I was just more or less like, you know what? I've been stuck in the house for the last year sick. Like literally, like the only time I left my apartment was to go to the doctor's. I was severely lacking in a social life at that point, and I was like, I just want to get out, and I want to be a bit social and, just kind of forget all this crap that's been going on the last year. And I was finally at a place where I was starting to feel a little bit better. So I was like, okay, I'll talk to him. So we chatted online through MSN Messenger. Guys, remember those days? We chatted on MSN Messenger for, I would say, about 2 weeks. And we seemed to kind of click. I seemed to like his personality from when we were talking. Actually, I think we talked maybe for a week via Messenger / emails. Then I decided to talk to him on the phone. So we talked on the phone for about another week. So it was like 2 weeks of like internet / phone talk. And then we decided, okay, we'll meet up and we'll go on a date. And again, I still really had no expectations. So I wasn't even all that nervous. Like usually my first dates, I've always been nervous because I wanted to go somewhere. But this time I was like, no expectations whatsoever. So we got together and he came and picked me up, and I don't even really remember like I don't remember the first moments. Like I don't remember when he picked me up. Like I remember what I was wearing. That's one thing. I still remember what I was wearing. I was very casual. I just had on like this burgundy long sleeve shirt because it was in November and it was cold. And I wore my khaki colored corduroy pants, I believe. Or maybe they were gray pants. I don't fully remember that part, but I do remember the shirt. I don't really remember what he was wearing, to be honest, because like I said, I really didn't have any expectations going in to this. So he picked me up and he said he wanted to take me to this cafe that he liked, and it was called Sunset something. Oh gosh, he would probably remember. It was called Sunset something. It's closed now. It closed many, many years ago. But it was this little tiny cafe. So we went there and we got like, I don't know, I think it was like donuts or something like that. It was just, or like a very light lunch kind of thing. Because I don't think it was like an actual food place. Like it was just like desserts and drinks and stuff. So we went there and we had that and we just sat there talking for, oh my gosh, it seemed like a really long time. Like an hour, maybe 2 hours of sitting there talking. And I remember as we were talking, I was like, I could not stop staring at his eyes. I was like, I don't know, there was just something about his eyes that got me, and the more we talked, the more I was like, you know, this guy is really cool. I really liked him. And so then from there, we went to see a movie. We went to see Scream 3, not Scream 3, Scary Movie 3. Yeah, weird movie for a first date, but whatever. We went to see that. And I remember like halfway through the movie, I was really I was feeling him. I was like, okay, I really like him. And I kept sitting there going, thinking to myself, like, I want him to hold my hand. But I was his first date ever. He did not have any prior relationships to me. I'm his first girlfriend, first date, everything. So he was really, really nervous. And so he did not try to hold my hand. So I kind of did the whole, this is like so high school, but I did the whole like kind of nudging my hand over towards him. And he finally took my hand and we held hands for like the rest of the movie, and I felt the butterflies and I was like, oh my gosh. So I really liked him. So yeah, so we held hands for like the rest of the movie. And then after that, he drove me home, and we went upstairs to my place. And of course, I still lived with my mom at the time. And I think my mom was home. Or maybe my mom was like out for a bit or whatever. But anyways, I invited him in for a little bit so we could talk some more after the movie. So he came into the apartment for a little bit, and we just like sat in the living room and like we were talking, and we ended up like cuddling a little bit on the couch and talking. And then it was the end of our date. So I walked with him down to the lobby of my building, and I will say that previously I had a rule: no kissing on the first date. I never ever would kiss on the first date. So anyways, I walked him downstairs to say bye, and we hugged, and then I just went in and I kissed him. I initiated the first kiss on the first date, which is something I've never ever done before. And so that like surprised him, it surprised me, and that was that. And we have been together ever since. So yeah, I think we ended up going on a date a few days later. I think that was like on a Saturday, and we ended up getting together again on, I think it was like either a Wednesday or a Thursday, and we watched Lord of the Rings, but we ended up really not watching the movie because we ended up like kissing for like almost the entire movie. And then on our third date, we went to karaoke because I used to love going to karaoke and singing. And we went to karaoke, and like this was our third date, and it was, I believe, like a week after our first date. And when we were in the karaoke bar, I told him that I loved him. I'm not kidding. It was a week. After a week, I was in love. And that was new too. That's never happened to me before. And anyways, I told him that I loved him, but he didn't hear me. And he was like, what? And then I chickened out on repeating it because I was like, no, this is like too soon. I shouldn't be saying this. So I chickened out. So then after karaoke, we were back at my apartment, and he ended up telling me that he loved me. So, yeah, so he thought that he was the first one in our relationship to say, I love you. But it was really me. So, yeah, after a week of dating, we were totally in love. And I would say the second week of dating, I just had a feeling that he was the one and that we were going to get married. And 4 years into dating, he proposed. So, and the rest is history. So, yeah, so we were together for 4 years dating, and then he proposed on his birthday, on the birthday cake. On his birthday cake, he put, will you marry me? And then we were engaged for a little over a year. I would say like a year and a half we were engaged before we got married. So we were together basically 5 years, and now we've been together 8 years married. So that is the story. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little Throwback Thursday story, and thanks so much for watching. And once again, don't forget to check out the links in the description below so that you can support Lupus Awareness Month by donating on my virtual walk. I've had a few more sponsors, and I really would like to thank those people. Okay, so I'm going to give a shout out to the people who have donated since I posted my Jolly Jumper stroller caddy video, because it's been an awesome couple of days. So my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, they both sponsored me. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Krystle Johnson, Myra from Myra's Little Bugs, and Alex's aunt, Nicolina. So we've had those people sponsor. So right now, my goal, like I said, is to raise $1,000 for Lupus, and we are so far at $211. Yay! So keep it coming, guys. The links will be in the description below on how you can help. And also don't forget to send your pictures or links to videos of you and your babies or your families dressed in purple for Lupus Awareness Month. You have until May 30th to email those to me. Email will also be in the description below. I've been getting lots of great submissions, so it's going to be an awesome video to put together. So if you want to be involved in that video, don't forget to email me those things. And thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye!